Hello and welcome to MediaNama. The Delhi High Court recently issued a contempt of court notice against Wikipedia for failing to comply with an order relating to ANI's defamation lawsuit against the website. Judge Navin Chawla also threatened to shut down Wikipedia's operations in India for failing to comply with the order. To provide some context, news media organization ANI filed a 2 crore defamation lawsuit against Wikipedia in July 2024, accusing the website of sharing defamatory content about it on its Wikipedia page and tarnishing its reputation. This concerned edits made on ANI's Wikipedia page, stating that it had been criticized for serving as a propaganda tool for the incumbent central government, distributing materials from a vast network of fake news websites, and misreporting events. ANI also highlighted statements in the page stating that it allegedly falsely blamed Muslims for the sexual assault and rape of two Kuki women during the 2023 Manipur violence and alluded to allegations of mistreatment of employees at their organization. ANI has argued Section 79 of the Information Technology Act concerning safe harbor does not protect Wikipedia, even though Wikipedia is considered an intermediary under Section 2 of the IT Act. ANI's lawyers have argued that citizens use Wikipedia as a public utility and thus it cannot behave as a private actor. It was in response to these allegations that the Delhi High Court issued summons to Wikipedia, instructing the platform to disclose information about the 3 users who made the edits. However, Wikipedia's compliance with this order has been delayed. It attributed this to its headquarters not being based in India. Wikipedia stated that India is a key country for it and it will ensure that it remains accessible to Indians. It also shared that it has extended certain protections to ANI's Wikipedia page to prevent any edits or vandalism. We're here with MediaNama founder and editor Nikhil Pahwa to discuss this case. Hi, Nikhil. So, how do ANI's arguments impact the larger conversation of safe harbor laws in India?
Thanks, Simon. So, look, safe harbor is this principle of the internet which says that platforms are not responsible for the content on the platforms because those are essentially submitted by users. And so if platforms were to be liable for that content, they would not really survive that liability. And so this is under Section 230D in the US. It's under Section 79A of the IT Act in India. So ANI has argued that Wikipedia has lost its protection or safe harbor under the Section 1679 of the IT Act because of active participation in terms of reversing edits, which implies some kind of editorial control. Now, what's not clear over here is that, who has exercised this editorial control and how ANI believes that just because it has exercised control in terms of reversing edits, that Wikipedia is liable, because safe harbor laws are designed to protect an intermediary, and it's only when they when they make a change under a court order, or only when they have actual knowledge are they legally required to make a change. So they can enforce, at the same time they can enforce their own policies because they're a private platform, right? So as per the Shreya Singhal judgment, which came out in 2015, platforms can only be mandated to make edits when they have actual knowledge, which is a court order or a government order, and but they can still make edits, or they can remove content, or they can add content, or they can because some violation on their platform, without being liable for those edits, because they're only enforcing their own guidelines. So if Wikipedia says that they can they are if ANI believes that just because they've reversed edits, which I'm assuming here were edits that were made by ANI to that page, the act of reversal doesn't violate, doesn't make it liable as an editor under Section 79A. It still remains a platform. So the other argument that ANI has sort of made is that Wikipedia's can't be treated as a private actor because it is used as a public utility. Now, the public utility argument is a huge stretch, because what does public mean over here? It means that if the public uses the platform, well, every internet platform is used as a public platform, and they're all private, and most of them are private players, right? So effectively, it's like Wikipedia is a private property, where they allow people to post content, allow people to edit content, um, uh, and the government, and therefore any restrictions on free speech do not apply to them. Free speech restrictions apply only to the government. So saying that Wikipedia is used as a public utility, etc., and therefore can't be a private actor is a huge stretch.
So the court has also issued a contempt of court notice against Wikipedia for failing to comply with the order in time. And it has also threatened to shut down its operations in India. Should such actions be taken against international companies like Wikipedia? And how will this affect the landscape of information in India?
So I so let's address the contempt proceedings, but I also want to get into a couple of other points. Um, you know, particularly let's say ANI. Let's start with the first one, that where ANI has basically said that there is a specific harm caused to it by false claims, including accusations of blaming Muslims for crimes, and highlighting something related to the rape and murder of two Kuki women, in terms of their reporting and how they reported on it. Um, so these are false claims that are perpetually on ANI's Wikipedia page. Now, you know, what Wikipedia is saying, and what the page also indicates, is it has citations. That they've cited it from research papers and some institutions that ANI says sort of indulges in propaganda, and that has tarnished its reputation. But you know, if these are from reliable sources, or these are from particular sources, expunging that criticism is problematic. Like tomorrow, can so why is ANI not going after the people who have made those claims that are cited on Wikipedia, rather than going after Wikipedia itself? I mean, ANI has every opportunity to counter that criticism and indicate to Wikipedia and Wikipedia editors that, look, this is the counter to the criticism that can also be incorporated in the Wikipedia edit, right? So Wikipedia has said officially that it doesn't allow personal experiences, opinions, or original research. It only uses secondary sources. So you have to go after, if you believe that there's false information being published by secondary sources, you go after the secondary sources, not after the encyclopedia that is citing them. And so I think that there is a problem with how ANI itself is approaching this particular issue, by going after the aggregator rather than going after the source, if it feels that is problematic information. Now, on the court order, I think, so the court has said that it would begin contempt proceedings if Wikipedia doesn't identify editors for that page, and this might end up getting Wikipedia banned in India. Firstly, I don't know, frankly, Wikipedia can, and I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know whether it can be forced to identify editors of a page in this defamation case. I don't know the legal precedents, but I would be doubtful about Wikipedia actually doing this, because it relies on thousands of unpaid, often anonymous editors, some named editors also, who follow certain editing guidelines and updates based on secondary sources. So if Wikipedia does disclose the names of these editors, or their contact details, or their IP addresses, how will the Wikipedia community across the globe react? How will the editors react to this, right? So everyone will feel that you're outing people who are editing pages and with citations. So there are Wikipedia editors will then perhaps choose not to edit Wikipedia. They'll stop contributing edits because they will fear retribution, right? There are millions of people who don't like how they are being represented, because not everything that is represented about them is in a positive light, right? So if Wikipedia discloses names of editors, these people will stop contributing these edits because they'll fear retribution. And I think what's going to happen is that any court that pushes this in the public domain, or forces disclosure of editors, names of editors, is going to be this order is going to be scrutinized globally. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets panned, or that's criticized globally, in fact. And look, the other thing that happens is that in India in particular, editors will stop contributing edits to Wikipedia. Like there is a substantial Indian language community that has built over a period of time. They've taught students in schools how to edit Wikipedia to contribute knowledge to the world, right? The Malayalam Wikipedia community is immense and it's very passionate about contributing to public knowledge. You have the last 10 years, a substantial amount of Indian language Wikipedia content has been added on Wikipedia to make it more accessible to people who don't know English from India, right? So I think those efforts to contribute knowledge to Wikipedia are going to get impacted substantially. And from this, in terms of the statement from the court that they'll direct the government to block Wikipedia because of contempt proceedings, the court has every right to do this. But I think it'll be most unfortunate because with contempt proceedings, if they end up banning Wikipedia in India or directing the government to ban Wikipedia, I don't think India really wants to be amongst the likes of China, Iran, Myanmar, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, Turkey, Venezuela, Uzbekistan. These are countries that have banned Wikipedia. And India sees itself as a liberal democracy. The government will, of course, hide behind the point that it's a court order. But it will reflect very poorly on the country, I think, and how the country is perceived if Wikipedia gets banned over here, along with the likes of illiberal countries that I mentioned earlier. Um, there is some truth to the fact where the court asserts that Wikipedia must comply with Indian laws, regardless of its global nature. And like India, like every sovereign nation, has a right to enforce its laws within its borders, and that's the tussle, that's the stress in terms of global platforms that operate in the country, that they have to respect local laws and local orders, but and ensure that they don't undermine the rule of law. But it's not clear over here about how Wikipedia is non-compliant with Indian laws. There have been in terms of if it's asked to disclose people's identify Wikipedia editors, and it doesn't comply with the court order. I think the court has the right to ban Wikipedia in that sense. I don't discount the fact that they don't have the right to do it. And there has been a unhealthy tension about Wikipedia in India for a very long time. Like there've been concerns regarding how our map is depicted on Wikipedia, and this is an important aspect, right? Because we have border disputes with China and Pakistan, and how the Indian map is depicted is, that some are shown as disputed territories, and they are disputed effectively. We know that Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and China, other parts of Kashmir and some parts of other parts of India are claimed by China, and some parts are occupied in that sense. So what does a platform do in such a situation? Because it's a global platform, right? um, can it choose a country that it wants to serve? Can it choose to, let's say, I'll choose to get banned in India and Pakistan, but not China, or I can choose India, but not China and Pakistan. How does it depict the map? National sovereignty is important to each country, but who loses if we enforce this and Wikipedia gets banned, right? What these platforms end up doing is they show it as a disputed territory, and quite often the countries choose not to act on it because they know it's disputed, even though they don't want it to be seen as disputed. uh, Overly aggressive enforcement against global platforms in terms of banning depictions of maps, or banning platforms themselves because of some violations such as this, can basically stifle the flow of information and knowledge. For us, it is we who are going to get impacted by it. It's a form of censorship that happens, coming out of how we don't want our maps to be depicted on the platform, but the people suffer in terms of knowledge getting restricted for them. So I think these are very, very tricky questions, and we're in a very tricky situation with Wikipedia and ANI in this case. How Wikipedia responds in the next hearing, how the court responds, what the court directs in the next hearing is going to be critical It's kind of like a it's a very tricky situation for safe harbor in India, this particular case. And my only hope is that Wikipedia doesn't get banned, and the editors who have edited Wikipedia's page don't get identified, because that will basically be harmful for access to knowledge in the country, and it will be harmful to India's reputation globally as a liberal democracy, as a country that contributes knowledge to the world as much as it consumes knowledge.
Thank you, Nikhil. If you would like to learn more about this case and tech policy in general, please check out MediaNama's website. And if you would like such quick takes, please check out MediaNama's YouTube channel. Thank you.